We've got a great guest for you in studio at the Banking Bros podcast today. Regina Wagner comes to us from Houston, Texas, and she's been helping people in the Medicare field, but she realizes that income, cash flow, and of course, mindset are really going to get people the money that they want for building wealth. So, in this episode, I'm going to sit down with her and chat through some tragedy that has turned into triumph in her life to help other people get to really where they want to go without going through all the stumbling blocks and the realizations that really can punch you in the stomach when you're not fully prepared. So, stick with us on this episode of the Banking Bros podcast for this great interview. We're back with another edition of Nelson's Notes, coming to us from the Godfather himself, Nelson Nash, and his book, Becoming Your Own Banker. Here we go. There's no such thing as, quote, having too much money in the bank. Well, thanks, Nelson. We know that. Wealth must reside somewhere. What better place to have it than reside here? From this residence, one can do anything that one can conceive. This is an advantage that most folks ignore in their thought process and therefore limits their effectiveness. When we're talking about saving money inside whole life insurance, which is stage 2 in the save and spend system, we want to be able to have as much capital reserves as possible for anything that you can think of or conceive, as Nelson says right here. In studio with Regina Wagner. Very excited to have you here with us. The last 2 days you've been hanging out at the HQ of the Cash Compound, talking to the Banking Bros about your story and not just the past, but of course where we're going together in the future, we think. Very excited about that. So thanks for being here. How are you enjoying Greenville, South Carolina in 24 hours?
I'm loving it. Your brother gave me a tour and we had wonderful dinner together yesterday. So it's a fantastic place. In fact, it's a well-kept secret.
It is. Well, we don't want to tell too many people. So as you're listening to this podcast, don't share with anybody this episode. We don't want any more people moving here. Yeah, we've been having a huge boom and a lot of folks relocating to the upstate. That's kind of the northwest corner of this southeastern state. And this about 8 to 10 county area has really been popping off.
I see why.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Very good.
Here.
Well, now tell us why you're here. What was the connection that got you to be interested in talking with us? And then we'll kind of go back and learn more about your story. But how did we get connected in the last couple of months?
Oh, wow. Let's see. We become connected because of my research into the infinite banking world and controlling your funds so that people can receive the cash flow they are after.
Right.
My background is all about cash flow, right? So as I listened to the message the Cash Compound Brothers deliver, I was like, whoa, these guys know what they're talking about. I want to get to know them better. And as a matter of fact, we are looking at developing and deepening our relationship because of how we can come together and help our clients and the people we care about.
Looking forward to getting more into that shortly about who your clients are and how you've been serving. But let's go back. You mentioned your background is in cash flow. Well, how did we get there? Tell us your story. How did it kind of all start for you? Did you grow up around money? Did you have money? Did you always understand we're interested in this? Or was there maybe some pivot points in your life?
Wow, great question, Jay Do. It all started with, believe it or not, I didn't realize this was the start, but as I look back, I know this is the start.
Okay,
right?
Yeah.
At the age of 26, my twin brother passed away. Passed away unexpectedly. He was healthy.
Right, okay.
Fit, didn't smoke, any of those bad habits, right? And it was an accident, we think, on the job. But what happened at the age of 26, he was recently married, a new baby.
Yeah.
And he unexpectedly passed away. Devastating.
Right.
Absolutely devastating. My brother and I were very close. He served in the Marines, then received an honorable discharge. I thought if anything would ever happen to my twin brother, it would have been because of the military.
Right, of course, sure.
It wasn't. He was on the job, and as a result of what happened to him, we were all grieving, very devastated. But worse than that was he only had $10,000 of life insurance.
Yeah.
Only with a baby.
With a family. You had the wife and a baby.
Yes,
okay.
absolutely.
Wow. Yeah.
And so we all, my siblings, my parents, we went out and did some planning. We did some planning.
That'll wake you up and shock you. And
it did all of that.
Yeah.
And as a result, we all went and purchased life insurance.
Okay.
To provide protection for our family so this travesty wouldn't happen.
Right. Okay.
Little did we know, 2 years later.
Okay. So you're 28 now.
I am 28. And now my baby sister giving birth to her baby in her last trimester, but she went into labor early.
Okay.
Okay.
This sounds ominous.
Yeah,
okay.
Really,
all right.
It's pretty heart-wrenching.
Yeah, okay.
And so my baby sister went into labor early. Yeah.
And then what happened? Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've mentioned, I'll let you breathe here for a second, but what it sounds like is also that you have somewhat orphaned niece, nephew situations in this as well. So I know you were giving me some of this story briefly, and we said we'd talk a little bit longer about it on a podcast episode, so we appreciate you sharing it with our community. That I'm also going to be interested in the legacy play for aunts and uncles and grandparents and remaining parents, and how they communicate, how they chose to communicate maybe things differently around finances and stability to the next generation, because it sounds like we're about to lose your sister.
Right. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
With my baby sister, again, she was younger, and because of the planning we had done and taken care of, when my baby sister passed away unexpectedly, she had left her husband and baby financially much better position and sound, right? And so that made a huge difference. In fact, I do want to share with you, my sister left me as one of the beneficiaries on her policy.
Okay. Yeah.
The death benefit, I was on it. And the reason she did that is because I was in a marriage that just wasn't working. And so she told her husband, if anything ever happened to her, can you believe that? Younger than me. If anything ever happened to her, she wanted a certain amount of money set aside for me.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
I was the only one in the family that wasn't married, right? Or I was married at the time, but it wasn't working out. And so as a result of that, I was able to change careers, go into a career that was all about commissions. I couldn't have afforded to do that and raise the children.
Yeah, okay.
And so what I don't know, as devastating as it was to lose my baby sister, and she was my closest friend, she loved me so much, and that gift has blessed me. It's blessed my children. I've been able to start an insurance agency.
Yeah.
All of my kids had an opportunity to go to college.
Wow.
Because of that gift.
So let's pause right there for a second. That's such a big deal. Of course, I don't want to go too fast past the relationship and the bittersweet symphony that this all is, right? Of course, when we're talking about legacy gifts, we're talking about death benefit, we are talking about losing someone.
That's right.
Yeah, we are talking about losing someone, and obviously we feel your emotion here. And we know you love your siblings. We can tell that. They both seem to have died very young. How old was she?
Yes, she was 26.
So 26 as well. Wow, gosh.
She was 26.
Wow.
Right? Mm-hmm.
Tragic, but you understand that life continued for you with a gift from her, tax-free.
Yes.
That you're just able to inherit. There was no, I'm assuming there was no hassle in getting this money. None at all. So you started a new path, and maybe you wanted to start a new path, or you just felt that you could maybe for the first time. Were you thinking about a new job, new opportunity, or you just now could and it wasn't on your mind before?
Right. No, it's been on my mind.
Oh, yeah.
I just didn't have the
resources
to go down the path of my dreams. And, you asked me about, my whole story. my oldest sister, after my baby sister passed,
Okay.
about almost 10 years later, my oldest sister was diagnosed with breast cancer, and she lost her battle.
Wow.
Yeah.
You've been through a lot just in this.
Yes.
Had she also prepared a legacy plan gift for her folks?
Daughter.
Okay, gotcha.
And her husband.
Yeah.
And so she knew what she was facing.
Yeah, okay.
She knew what she was facing. Yeah. But as a result of my twin brother passing away years later, she had done some planning. So her husband and daughter received a gift of love.
Yeah.
Which is tax.
A gift of love. I like that, a gift of love.
That's how I feel.
So how did this turn the tables for you in your career and get you kind of more toward what you're doing now? Were these specific stories that led you down the path of what you're doing today, or was it a myriad of other things that said, okay, it's a whole story, right? Really whole story, yeah, okay.
Story, because just life has a way of happening. I ended up helping my parents do their Medicare planning.
Okay, okay.
Became very fascinated with how complex it was.
Yeah, I've heard that it's the worst thing to try to navigate.
Oh, it's
okay.
An absolute beast.
Okay.
It's a nightmare, but I love the complexity of it all. Growing up, I always loved taking something complicated and making it simple. But what I really learned and what began to shape my path and direct my path into the world of insurance, into the world of cash flow, income, passive income streams, is because when I was out of college and I went and I worked at Chase, and I had an opportunity to be exposed to all these people with money.
All right. Okay.
With money.
You're a banker now. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I became a banker.
All right.
And so I'm like, okay. So I would hear them talk about life insurance, Jay-Do, but I didn't understand the really big picture. Seeds were being planted in my life at that time, and I didn't realize.
Now, Regina, I heard that life insurance was a ripoff. So what do you mean all these wealthy people and rich people are doing life insurance? All the people who see me on my TikTok and my Instagram says this is a ripoff and it's terrible. But you're saying the wealthy people are using this as a tool.
Yes, they are. They're using exactly what you and your brother talk about.
Sure. Well, I know it now. Obviously, I'm leading the witness here, but I didn't know either because Dave Ramsey had told me there's only one type to buy. You want it to expire and get rid of it by your time you're 60, 70, and just let all your stock market stuff take care of you. But that's not the reality that you see with people who had wealth.
That's correct.
Okay.
I saw families leave legacies to their loved ones through the vehicle of life insurance, tax-free.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I did. And then let's flip it on the Medicare side of things. I saw people where they either had a lot of assets and resources and cash flow into their homes, and then I saw the other half living check to check, or not even enough money to cover their monthly bills. And I begin to start looking at what are they doing? What's the differences? And I saw my wealthy clients from my banking days had a connection with my wealthy clients on the Medicare side. I said, I've got to do something to help. So that's where the book that I recently wrote, which is now on Amazon, that's how those 7 habits came about.
Okay.
And it's looking at and studying the patterns of my wealthy clients and studying the ones that were living check to check. And it goes back to my siblings. When my twin brother passed away early, his now widowed wife, what is she going to do? He was the main breadwinner in the family.
Right, of course. Yeah. Very interesting. So you mentioned these 7 certain habits here, and we'll drop a link, of course, to your book in the show notes of this podcast so everybody can pick up a copy. But give us a little overview and recap of how you decided to break down what's going on in the book, what wealthy people are doing and paying attention to.
Yes. Well, unfortunately, I was that person. I ultimately got a divorce, from my kid's dad, and the biggest, JD, I always earned a good income. Income was not my problem as a business owner.
Okay.
But cash flow was.
Cash flow, right? Cash flow. It's not cash is king. You made it.
Yes.
Cash flow is king. I don't have it anymore.
Yes,
it's gone.
Flow.
Okay.
I mean, think about it. So again, I started looking at what they're doing, asking questions. And the very first thing was wealthy people think differently. They think long term. That's just one of the thoughts and the mindset. So in my book, chapter 1 is all about changing your thinking.
Okay. All right. I love it. Yeah.
I heard you on one of your previous podcasts, I heard you talk about long-term thinking. And it really opened my eyes because prior to that, I had been doing research on what are some of my limiting beliefs.
Okay.
What's holding me back, right? And so
it may not be the man or everything on the outside. It might be coming from internal. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Y'all listening? Y'all listening? Y'all subscribing? All right.
Because have you ever asked yourself, I've been wanting this thing right here, financial freedom, right?
Sure.
Peace of mind. I've been wanting this certain lifestyle. I'm a good person. I work hard. Why haven't I attained it?
Mm-hmm.
Believe it or not, step 1 is, do you have the right mindset for wealth?
Okay.
Do you feel worthy? Do you feel good enough? All of those things that can hold us back. So the very first thing is get the mindset right. I want to tie that to what happened with my siblings. Over the years, after having lost 3 siblings at young ages, I didn't know this, but I ended up developing a belief that I wasn't going to live very long.
Sure.
Certainly didn't think I was going to live to be age 60.
Okay.
So why in the world would I put money away for the future? So I had a thinking problem, and all my important decisions was made from a short-term thinking mentality.
And of course, you can have an excuse there that, you haven't actually seen your siblings live a long time. And once you hit 40-ish or whatever the number was, you are now the longest living sibling in your group. So those outside things affected your internal thinking, but ultimately it was your internal thinking that was holding you back because your reality was, I'm still here, I'm still alive, I'm still able. And, but I just hadn't been thinking I was going to live long or I needed to plan for long term.
Right. The planning won't take place if you're not thinking long term.
Okay. So what's the next idea?
Right. So the second step is you have to make a decision. What's important?
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And so step 2 is make a decision and set a goal. Let me share something with you. Increasing your passive income, your cash flow, doesn't just happen by accident. You have to be intentional. And so to do and follow the necessary steps, it's only after you've made a decision that increasing your passive cash flow is important.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Step 2.
All right. Keep it going.
You want me to keep going?
I'm ready for it. I think the people are ready.
Yes,
all right.
Indeed. Well, step 3, it's going to lead you to meeting with a professional.
All right.
And that you and I, that's how we got together. I wanted to meet with you and your brother and talk about cash flow. I wanted to talk about controlling the finances, right? So step 3 is surrounding yourself around like-minded people.
Yes.
You need to be around a tribe, a group of people that are talking the same thing. Otherwise, you're less likely to do the things that are important.
Right. You want to, if it's happening for someone, it can happen for me.
That's exactly right.
And obviously, if somebody has blazed that trail and they're ahead of me on the path, then I can follow them, right? So or should I just check in with my broke brother-in-law? There's just 2 sides of this coin here, and one of them is just asking your friends. I was on a call last night. We do free cash consultations for folks who want to chat with us at our office. And this guy, he's just fresh out of school. He wants to start an infinite banking type wealth building system, and calls me back day 2 after we had a great conversation and says, hold on, well, see, my friend said, and there's nothing wrong with this guy, and check in with your friends, that's fine, but we've got to remember, and it was a fine conversation, but I wondered whether or not what his friend said that proximity and that familiarity was going to hold him back or not, or he was just trying to make sure that he was asking the guy who was further down the path, who is a professional, who deals with these contracts, who owns them himself, are you going to be paying attention to the truth and the reality that I live in, or just the limiting belief of your friend circle? So I like that. All right, number 3, number 4.
We talked about 3.
Mm-hmm.
He is going to, did I make sure I have it right? All right, step 1, get your mindset right.
Yep.
Step 2, make a decision and set a goal, right?
Yep.
All right, step 3 is meet a professional that can help and guide you, be that coach and counselor.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
Okay. And then step 4, you're going to pick, after you learn some things. In fact, I missed a step, believe it or not.
Okay, that's fine. It'll be right in the book. We're having a little convo off the cuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
So let's go back. Step 1 is mindset.
Yep.
And then step 2 is going to be identifying your gifts.
Oh, okay.
So
Gotcha.
I did miss that one.
Gotcha.
And that's a very important one. So often people take their careers for granted. They pick a career because it's the industry that's hiring.
Yeah, sure. Right. Of course.
On and on. But I do want to pause for a moment and share how important it is to identify your gifts and talents, right? And how important that is to not only your cash flow, your earnings, your career, but it's also important to your joy, your passion.
Yeah, of course.
Getting up every day, being excited to live
Yeah.
and carry on your life. So do I have a few minutes to share a little story? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I want everyone, your audience, at the sound of my voice, to think about where they are, what room you're sitting in, okay? I want you to think about everything around you and what it was created for. Everything has a purpose,
All right.
okay? Your cap has a purpose.
Sure.
As you wearing it,
Yep.
right? My readers have a purpose. So if there's some small print, I can read it, right? And this pen was created so that I could communicate in writing. So a cup that we drink out of was created for cold beverages, hot beverages, but it allows us to drink, right? So where am I going with this? If everything around us was created for a purpose, you better believe we were created with a purpose.
Right.
But the cool thing about it is we get to choose what we do. We have choice. So once you take the time to discover your gifts and your talents, you can literally take those gifts and find careers that match up with that. So many, many years ago, when I was 18, 19 years of age, I met with a career counselor. And the career counselor asked, what did I love doing? I love teaching. I love math. I graduated from college with a Bachelor of Science in Mathematics. Everybody thought I was smart. But it wasn't that I was smart. It was that I loved math.
Okay.
So I loved it. And so the career counselor said, well, what kind of income you want to earn? I was like, what kind of income? Well, I want to earn $100,000 a year.
Sure.
Right? Right?
Big money.
But here's the thing. I love teaching. But if my goal was $30,000 a year in income, I could have been a public school teacher, right? But I had set such a high income goal, there were certain career paths that would have allowed me to do just that.
Right.
That's how I actually ended up in banking and learning about finances and wealth and money. So,
right.
Absolutely.
Okay, very good. So we'll just say, because we confused everybody for a second, the next one, or one of the 7. It doesn't matter what order. Grab the book. Okay, so give us another.
The next one would be number 6.
Okay.
That would be picking a passive income that fits your personality.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay.
Passive income, not active.
Income, not
all right.
active.
Tell us about that. What does that mean?
Passive income is an income that works when you're not. It works in your sleep. It works when you're traveling. So this is money that we call passive income. Comes to your household.
Yeah. Okay.
Makes
Yep.
sense?
Yep. Mailbox money.
Yes, we do. We call that mailbox money.
All right.
And then step 7, once you have locked in that particular passive income, you understand it is flowing, you've got it down, now it's time to pick another one. You could go at whatever pace you want to, right? But the goal is to increase your passive cash flow monthly income to increase your monthly expenses and lifestyle. And now you've got financial freedom.
Gotcha.
And
very good.
What the book is all about. It's to help these young parents, not just young parents, but parents in general, be present for their children. Be there, raise your kids. Right now, children are being raised by TV shows and apps on their phones, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so if you get the cash flow right, you can be present for your children, present for your spouse. Did you know the number one cause of divorces has to do with money? I bet you know.
Sure. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, Regina, we're so thankful that you kind of walked us through that, and we're looking forward to getting that book in our hands. So we've got that link for everybody here. But tell us who is a great fit to work with you. Who are you working with right now? We know we're looking at a great partnership here, and we'll give you guys more of that in the future as it transpires and progresses, and we figure out some sort of specific path and funnel for that. But who is a great client for you? How are you helping them? What is the next step if someone wants to reach out?
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much. The name of my book is called What You Don't Know About Wealth Is Costing You.
Okay. Yeah.
And it can be found on Amazon.
Great.
And what was that other question?
Who are you working with?
Oh,
who are you working with today? Right. Who comes to your office? Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Currently, I am helping individuals and families and in a good percentage of business owners.
Okay,
and
great.
The reason, and that's what drew me to you guys, because a lot of my business owner clients, my individuals, they are at a point in their life where they're realizing they want peace of mind. They want their time back. And so business owners probably I help more than anyone. But if you are at a point in your life and you realize how much money is going to financing your life, right?
Oh, yeah.
If you are feeling like all your money is going to taxes, if you feel like no matter how much money you earn, you just don't feel wealthy,
yep,
those are the people that come to me and I can help them put a plan in place.
Wonderful. Well, we look forward to sending some of our great community your direction for a wonderful partnership. Thank you for being in the studio with us.
Thank you for having me here.
And we'll talk to you again very soon with more great ideas on the web in our community for our audience.
Thank you.
All right, it's time for today's top 5. And today we're talking about something that can save you money, improve your health, and prevent a whole lot of headaches down the road. So these are the top 5 things that you should replace every year. Now, some of these might seem obvious, but you'd be surprised at how many people ignore them until there's a problem. And as we always talk about on this show, it's usually cheaper and easier to be proactive than reactive. It's all about that Eisenhower matrix, folks. Let's jump into it. So coming in at number 5 is your toothbrush or your electric toothbrush head. And believe it or not, you're actually supposed to replace this every quarter, so 4 times a year. Most dentists are going to recommend that every quarter, which means you should be going through about 3 or 4 per year. Worn bristles just simply don't clean effectively, and they can harbor bacteria. And considering how expensive dental work is, this is one of the cheapest preventable instruments you'll ever make. So that's 5. Number 4, your smoke detector batteries. Now, some newer detectors have long life batteries, but if yours doesn't, you're supposed to replace them annually, and that simple habit could literally save your life. A lot of people wait until they hear that annoying chirp at 2 in the morning, so don't be that person. Pick a date each year and make it part of your routine. Coming in at number 3 is your HVAC filter. Now this one can vary depending on your home, your pets, your allergies, and your filter type, but at a minimum you should be reviewing and replacing filters regularly throughout the year. If you're only checking it once annually, you're probably behind. I might recommend every quarter for this one too. A clean filter helps your HVAC system run more efficiently. It'll improve your indoor air quality. It'll extend the life of one of the most expensive systems in your house. Number 2, your windshield wipers. Most people don't even think about them until they're caught in a storm and they can't see. But sun exposure, heat, cold, all weather, just wear that thing down, right? Wears down the rubber, that's what they are. So replacing them once a year is pretty inexpensive, and it dramatically improves visibility and safety when you need it the most. And coming in at number 1 is your financial plan. Now, before you say, wait a minute, that's not something I replace, hear me out. You should review, update, and if necessary, replace parts of your financial strategy each year because your income probably changed, your goals most definitely changed. Tax laws can change, family situations can change. A financial plan that worked 3 years ago might not be the best plan for where you are today. The wealthiest people I know don't set their financial strategy on autopilot and hope for the best. They review it regularly, they make adjustments, they stay intentional. And honestly, that's the bigger lesson from this list, right? The things that serve you best over the long run are usually the things that you maintain consistently. Your health, your home, your relationships, and your money. Small maintenance today often predicts big problems tomorrow. So that's today's top 5. Take a look around your house this week and ask yourself, what have I been putting off, replacing that could save me money, save me stress, or save me trouble later on? You might be surprised by the answer. And with that, let's jump back to the studio.
To continue the conversation with Regina Wagner, you're going to want to grab that book. I'm telling you, what you don't know is costing you. So link to that book in the show notes. Go to Amazon, grab your copy, and in the back of the book, you can find the contact information to have a one-on-one consultation with her, our partner in this space. If you feel that you're stuck, you need a plan and a path that is proven to get you where you want to go in cash flow. So we're so thankful that she was able to come in studio with us. We look forward to more information coming soon about our partnership in terms of webinars, online content, and maybe more podcasts just like this. But if you've got to get to her right now, which we fully encourage, we want you to grab that book, go to her website, check the show notes for all these links, and we'll have you reporting back to us how great it was to experience her expertise.
You are now tuned to the banking bro. Said we couldn't make it, drink or settle, this the life we chose. Gave a lot of game, we never got a lot of things. Bow your head and say the prayer, we taught you how to be the bank.